Two cities rise from opposite edges of the world, one draped in mist and marble, the other pulsing with neon veins. London stands proud, old and expensive. Hong Kong hums with rhythm, precision, and quiet efficiency. Between them lies a question of cost, not just in money, but in meaning. In London, luxury feels inherited. In Hong Kong, comfort feels earned. Here, space is small, but spirit is vast. There, beauty costs more than belonging. This is a story of two cities, two ways of living, and why one glitters brighter without emptying the soul or the wallet. Two cities stand like reflections from different centuries. London, the keeper of stone and storm, and Hong Kong, the dream of glass and light. London exhales history through every wet cobblestone, while Hong Kong hums with neon hunger and 1,000 restless ambitions. Between them lies not just a stretch of distance, but a philosophy of how to live, how to move, how to spend. London demands loyalty. It costs you for its charm. Hong Kong rewards agility. It lets you dance through its rhythm without feeling drained. And so, the question rises in the mist between red buses and harbour trams. Why does Hong Kong feel lighter on the wallet, yet richer in experience than London? London is a museum that never sleeps. It asks you to pay for its poetry, in rent, in tickets, in time. The beauty of the city is undeniable, but so is its burden. Every coffee cup feels gilded with tax, every train journey a silent deduction. In Hong Kong, the currency moves differently. A smaller apartment doesn't mean smaller dreams, just smarter living. The streets curve into alleys of value, food stalls glowing beside luxury malls, ferries gliding at the price of a sandwich. Where London demands your patience, Hong Kong gives you pace. The value here is not just in the cost, but in the convenience. Not in what you spend, but in how seamlessly you live. And as dusk settles, Big Ben glowing over the Thames, Victoria Harbour lighting up like circuitry, the contrast becomes a kind of lesson. London measures worth through endurance. Hong Kong measures it through efficiency. In one, life is about holding ground. In the other, it's about moving swiftly through opportunity. Hong Kong doesn't undercut London, it outthinks it. The secret is not cheapness, but design. Here, economy is elegance, and simplicity feels like luxury. Between fog and neon, the answer whispers softly. It's not about spending less, it's about living more. In London, space is a privilege you pay for in silence. Apartments stretch far from the heart of the city, each square foot a silent meter of sacrifice. Rent is not just a number, it is a negotiation with history. You pay for Victorian bricks, for the weight of architecture, for the skyline that once ruled the world. A single room becomes a monument to compromise. The kitchen in the corner, the window facing another window, the sound of life happening next door. Yet despite its grandeur, London feels heavy. It trades comfort for culture, offering you prestige when what you crave is peace. The walls echo with beauty, but they also echo with bills. Across the sea, Hong Kong answers the question differently. Here, space is smaller but smarter. Apartments may rise like towers of matchboxes, yet within them, every inch is engineered with precision. The city understands rhythm. It compresses, but never suffocates. Rent, though rising, still buys you connection, proximity to movement, light, and convenience. You don't measure your home in meters, but in moments. The ease of walking to the MTR, the hum of life just an elevator ride away. Hotels mirror the same logic. Efficient, bright, designed to serve function without fuss. A night in Central or Tsim Sha Tsui costs less than its London twin, not because Hong Kong offers less, but because it wastes nothing. For the traveler and the tenant alike, this difference becomes revelation. In London, you buy distance, long commutes, lofty dreams, and endless expenses. In Hong Kong, you buy access to the pulse, to the skyline, to the city's constant heartbeat. A room with a view of Victoria Harbour hums at a price that London's narrow flats could never dream of matching. The cost of living here is not a burden, it's a balance. Hong Kong teaches that value is not in size, but in design. It's not how much you own, but how well you live within it. And so, between London's grand stretch and Hong Kong's graceful squeeze, one truth gleams quietly. Small can be smarter, and smarter can be richer. Movement defines a city's soul, and in London, it often comes at a cost. The morning rush is a ritual of patience, oyster cards tapping like prayers for mercy, fares climbing with every mile. The underground hums with exhaustion, its carriages heavy with deadlines and sighs. Black cabs glide like relics of an older empire, elegant but unreachable for most. Even the simple act of crossing the city becomes a calculation. Should you walk? Should you wait? Or should you pay? London's rhythm moves on timetables and budgets, each journey another reminder that in this city, distance is currency. In Hong Kong, the story shifts to speed and simplicity. The octopus card, sleek, silent, and magical, turns the entire city into an open gate. A tap here, a ferry there, a tram gliding through old streets under neon skies. Travel is not a burden, it's part of the beauty. The MTR hums like a heartbeat, punctual and precise, carrying millions in minutes for the price of a coffee. Ferries slice across the harbour like old postcards come to life, offering skyline views for pocket change. And even taxis, bright and efficient, feel like part of a living circuit rather than a luxury. In Hong Kong, motion itself is democratic. Everyone moves, everyone belongs. For the visitor, this difference becomes revelation. In London, to move is to measure cost. In Hong Kong, to move is to feel alive. You don't plan your routes with fear of fares. You glide through them with ease. The tram bells sing of history, the ferries whisper of freedom, and the trains promise precision. It's a choreography of convenience, designed not to drain, but to delight. Hong Kong teaches that efficiency is a form of luxury, one that doesn't need a chauffeur or a surge price. It's the joy of knowing that a city can carry you, swiftly, gently, affordably. And as the skyline flickers past your window, you understand that here, movement isn't money, it's freedom priced within reach. Every city tells its story through flavor, and in Hong Kong, that story is rich, fast, and fiercely affordable. Morning light spills over bamboo steamers stacked high with dim sum, shrimp dumplings glistening like tiny treasures, egg tarts flaking into gold dust. At a corner stall, a chef tosses noodles into the air, wok flames rising like a ritual of rhythm and precision. Here, food is both art and access, a democratic feast where a few coins can buy a meal that feels like home. Michelin stars glitter over street carts, not behind velvet ropes. It's a place where eating well doesn't mean eating expensively, where every bite tastes like a small victory of value. In London, food is ceremony, elegant, refined, but often priced beyond reach. The pub roast, the artisan bakery, the sleek cafe tucked into a cobbled lane, all promise comfort, but at a cost that bites harder than spice. The city's culinary scene is grand, but it leans heavy on the wallet. A plate becomes a privilege, not a pleasure. Londoners chase the taste of authenticity in curated spaces, while Hong Kong serves it steaming on the street. The difference isn't just in price, but in philosophy. One city sells experience, the other serves it. In Hong Kong, eating connects you to rhythm, quick, communal, constant. In London, it often feels like aspiration plated on fine china. For visitors, this contrast defines the journey. In Hong Kong, a traveler can eat like a local and dine like royalty without ever glancing at a bill with dread. Each meal feels alive, bustling, fragrant, unpretentious. The city rewards curiosity with flavor, not status. London's charm lies in its history, its refinement, its quiet corners, but Hong Kong's gift is its immediacy. You don't need a reservation to taste its soul. From steaming bowls of wonton noodles to cups of milk tea shared at midnight, the city feeds more than hunger. It feeds belonging. And in that warmth, that aroma, that affordable abundance, Hong Kong proves that value isn't measured in pounds. It's measured in satisfaction. Health is the quiet architecture of a city's promise, the measure of how well it cares for those who call it home. In Hong Kong, that promise hums with precision. Clinics open early, hospitals gleam with order, and doctors move through their work with a sense of rhythm learned from the city itself. Fast, efficient, and deeply human. Public health care remains accessible, private care abundant, and both operate with a sense of urgency that feels reassuring. Even visitors feel it. The ease of walking into a pharmacy, the speed of service, the dignity of being treated without delay. Here, health isn't a privilege. It's a performance of balance, built into the daily pulse of life. London's healthcare tells a different story, one of compassion stretched thin by time. The NHS is a system built on noble ideals, yet strained under endless demand. Appointments take weeks, waiting rooms hum with fatigue, and those who can afford it quietly turn to private options that promise what the public system struggles to give. The care is kind, the people dedicated, but the rhythm is slow. The city's heart beats in bureaucracy rather than flow. Where Hong Kong moves like a current, London drifts through queues and paperwork. The contrast is not of quality, but of immediacy. One city acts, the other prepares. For those living or visiting, the difference becomes more than numbers on insurance forms. In Hong Kong, health feels like a shared priority, not a strained resource. The air of assurance seeps into every transaction, from quick consultations to quiet pharmacy counters. Even travelers sense the safety in the system, the calm in its competence. In London, healthcare still carries its legacy of compassion, but time has turned it into a test of patience. Hong Kong, with its hybrid of East and West, shows what happens when efficiency becomes empathy in motion. It reminds us that good health is not just about treatment, it's about trust. And in this, the city never fails to heal. In Hong Kong, luxury doesn't glitter, it flows. It moves through the city's veins like light through glass, quiet and precise. You feel it in the way a train glides into the station exactly on time, or how a cup of milk tea arrives steaming within seconds of your order. Efficiency here is not cold or mechanical, it's emotional, born from a collective understanding that time is the city's most sacred currency. The escalators hum, the ferries glide, and the streets shimmer with motion that feels almost choreographed. This rhythm, smooth, reliable, and effortless, gives everyone a quiet sense of wealth. In Hong Kong, efficiency itself has become a form of elegance. London's luxury, by contrast, is visible but heavy, the kind that asks for patience before reward. A black cab in traffic, a long queue for coffee, a delayed train under rain-soaked skies. The city's charm is its character, but its tempo can wear you down. Where Hong Kong gives you time back, London takes it, asking for endurance in exchange for prestige. The British capital still shines with history, but in a world that runs on seconds, history alone can't compete with speed. Hong Kong's version of comfort lies in momentum, in getting things done beautifully, not just grandly. Its skyline may reach for the clouds, but its greatest architecture is invisible, the design of time itself. For residents and travelers alike, this difference becomes the defining experience. A visitor in Hong Kong can cross the city, eat like royalty, and watch the skyline glow, all in a single afternoon. In London, the same day would vanish between schedules and slow returns. Efficiency, in Hong Kong, democratizes luxury. It turns everyday acts into gestures of grace. You don't need wealth to feel rich here, just movement, precision, and the quiet pride of a city that never wastes a moment. The true luxury of Hong Kong is not its gold or skyline, but its mastery of time, a gift that no currency can buy, yet everyone receives. To visit Hong Kong is to step into a rhythm that feels both cinematic and kind. The city greets travelers not with extravagance, but with efficiency that feels like luxury in disguise. From the airport express gliding into Central in minutes to hotel check-ins that take less time than a breath, the visitor is reminded, time here is sacred, and service is an art form. Even a short stay feels like an immersion into precision. You can land in the morning, explore temples at noon, dine by Victoria Harbour at night, and never once feel hurried. Hong Kong turns travel into choreography. Every step seamless, every moment accounted for. London, on the other hand, often makes visitors earn their experience. The tube creaks, taxis meter up, and rain makes every journey a negotiation. A hotel room in central London demands more from your wallet, yet gives less from your space. Meals, too, become calculations, a quick sandwich for the price of a feast in Kowloon. Where Hong Kong thrives on compression, small spaces filled with energy and value, London stretches its grandeur across miles and pounds. For the traveler, that means one city lets you do more with less, while the other teaches patience through cost. Hong Kong gives the feeling of a full day in half the time, a full experience in half the expense. But beyond the math of prices and exchanges lies something softer, a sense that Hong Kong wants you there. The street vendors smile as they serve roast goose under neon signs. The tram conductor nods as you drop your coin. Even the skyline seems to lean closer, welcoming your gaze. In London, beauty feels distant, admired from across barriers and tickets. In Hong Kong, it feels shared. The tourist's equation, then, is not just about saving money, but about gaining belonging. It's a city that gives back every second you spend, proving that the richest experiences don't always come with the highest cost. In the quiet hours before dawn, Hong Kong glows like a promise. Soft, golden, efficient. It's a city that understands rhythm, that moves in harmony with its own pulse. Here, value isn't measured only in dollars, but in how seamlessly life flows. Every corner, every alley, every tram bell tells a story of movement and meaning. It's a place that gives you more than what you pay for: time, connection, simplicity. To live or visit here is to realize that wealth isn't always about accumulation. Sometimes it's about the absence of friction. Hong Kong offers that rare feeling that every moment you spend has purpose, every experience has weight. London, magnificent and moody, carries a heavier tune. It is history carved in stone, beauty wrapped in cost. The streets whisper of empire and artistry, but the price of presence is high. Rent bites deeper, meals stretch the budget, and even joy feels measured in pounds. For many, it's a city to admire but not to exhale in. The contrast is striking. Where London dazzles through legacy, Hong Kong shines through efficiency. The British capital holds your gaze. The Asian harbour holds your hand. To compare them is not to judge, but to understand how one city rewards nostalgia while the other nurtures now. And so, the question shifts from which is cheaper to which gives more. Hong Kong, in its restless glow, offers a modern comfort that London's grandeur can't replicate, a living rhythm that values every breath, every dollar, every second. It's not just about spending less, but about feeling more. In the end, Hong Kong's greatest gift is its balance between past and progress, between saving and savoring. Beyond the price tag lies something richer, a city that proves value isn't what you spend, but what you keep in memory. In the end, the story is simple. Hong Kong proves that value and vibrance can coexist. To live or visit here is to witness how a city can stretch every dollar without shrinking your experience. From its sky-high views to its street-side meals, from the hum of its trams to the sparkle of Victoria Harbour, Hong Kong delivers luxury through efficiency. Where London's charm often feels paid for in pounds, Hong Kong's allure is accessible, democratic, a feast of experience at half the cost. It's not about being cheaper, it's about being smarter, about building a life or a journey that rewards both your senses and your savings. So as the lights fade on this comparison, one truth glows brighter than the skyline itself. Hong Kong stands as a testament to balance, where modern living meets mindful spending. For every traveler seeking adventure without excess, for every dreamer wanting more life for less money, this city answers softly: you can have both. This has been Asia Eye Within, where every story reveals the pulse of a continent in motion. Like, subscribe, and share, and join us again as we uncover the unseen truths behind Asia's most remarkable cities.